5?
Okay. So
Are we on?
Counting down 3, 2, 1, and go.
Hello.
Welcome to podcast episode 5 of ModTalk. I'm Damian Mel, CEO and co-founder, and this is
Mia Mel.
co-founder, president.
Co-founder, president.
Are you already drinking wine?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. It's 5
Okay.
o'clock.
So you were on last week. We talked about
You invited
affiliate.
me back.
I did. I invited you back.
So nice.
Yeah, ratings proved fairly well.
Ratings
Yeah.
skyrocketed, I
Yeah.
would say. Did they
Yeah.
double?
They did. They doubled.
The Nielsen's?
We had 4 people the first time, and we had 8 people the second time.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So
That was me. I created 4 other aliases.
great. So do you go on Instagram and share your own post to
Yes,
other
yes, I
aliases?
do.
Okay, I do that
Yes.
too, just to make it look like there's something happening. So anyway,
Fake it till you make it.
So on this podcast, I know we want to talk about referrals versus affiliate, but kind of before we
Yes.
do that, I want to just kind of chat with you a little bit about the market, the news, which kind of leads
Okay.
into this.
Okay.
So home builder sentiment is way down. New home
Okay.
construction, way down. Interest rates, 7.24 via bankrate.com. So interest rates pretty high. Mortgage refinances, new mortgage applications, way down. What's going on? Where do you see the market going from your experience?
But I was noticing, because I was looking at houses today, especially in our area, Ontario, there's a lot of houses in the 5s.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, despite the interest rates, if you can pick up a house in the 5 and they're cute little craftsmans and you have the money, I would do it. I think anything in the 5s is like, grab it.
Yeah, well, but I think there's uncertainty, right? So
Especially
if you're stretching for that house in the 5s and you're uncertain about where the market's going to be, where your job's going to be a year from now, I think that's an issue. I don't know. I know, like, we went to the store to buy some meat and it's expensive. I'm questioning pricing at the store. I usually don't do that, right? Like, you just buy, and I'm seeing how expensive things are. I mean, just a bag of chips for, like, tortilla chips was like $6, which is, to me, is crazy, right? It's something that was
like $3.
Yeah, seriously. So it is getting much more expensive out there. And I noticed that the news says we're doing well, and inflation's coming down, but I don't know, gas is almost $6 a gallon again. So I think all this plays a huge factor in the market. And I know that what I always think about is 2008. Things slowed down and we began to make excuses. It's the holidays. It's, you found a reason. It's really warm summer, global warming, whatever the case is, right? People have the excuses of why the market's starting to react differently than what they're expecting. But are we really starting to see a complete, like, change in the market, right? Like,
well, I think it's been changing. Last time in 2008, we didn't have the interest rate situation.
Correct.
So that's a super obvious thing to point to.
Well, I guess the question is the shit gonna hit the fan? If it does, what does it look like? I mean, what should we be thinking about in terms of, like, in real estate? Because, what I like about real estate is, even in a really, really, really bad market, the house is still there. Who owns that house may change, but the purpose of the house still remains. It's lived in, right? Somebody owns it.
Yeah. I mean, everything is pointing towards Renter Nation for sure.
Yeah.
Even I just read, I was telling you the other day about WeWork, the WeWork founder. What's his name? Adam Newman. He has a new company. What's it called? I can't remember the name of it.
Isn't it like Fluff or something?
Oh, Flow.
Like that?
It's called
Flow.
And basically, it's WeWork, but apartments.
Like We Sleep.
It's like we sleep.
It's the same.
We live.
Is it also cult-like?
Well, he's kind of cultish, so yeah, probably. But basically, it's like he's calling it the. No, he was saying. What was he saying? He was saying, well, due to there's still a lot of remote working and all of that. So he was saying that he was comparing it to Starbucks. So he said the founder of Starbucks said Starbucks is the 3rd place. The first place is your home. The second place is your work. And the 3rd place is Starbucks.
Okay.
That was the goal. So he's saying basically he's trying to combine first, second, and third all together because there is so much remote work. So basically a space that you don't own, you rent, and you work, you live, you socialize all in one place. There's
there's another word for that place.
Cult?
No, prison.
Prison.
And, we have a place for you to stay. You work here. You
so that's
vacation here.
Yeah. So VCs gave him $350 million to explore that model.
Okay.
And
again, very
things like
cultish.
that.
Very cultish. Is he opening up one in Waco? Yeah, very cultish. But yeah, so I'm watching this, and I'm talking to agents, and I'm asking. I always like to ask people like, what's happening on the ground. And I always remember that time we were talking with the CFO of Fannie Mae, who said, "Hey, we don't see what's happening for like 18 months or whatever." So he goes, if we were connected with agents and we were connected, on the level of the street, we would have a better sense. And so I know we're kind of really talking to agents, and we're still getting a lot of, I'm making my calls. I have prospects. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're turning that prospect into a sale, but I still think there's enough energy right now that we're kind of saying, hey, it's going to be okay. We're going to make it through. But what I always like to press upon agents is what happens if it's not, right? Like, and it's not to say that it's going to go one way or the other, because I don't know. But, am I aligning myself with if it's not? What is that going to look like?
You
am I
always
ready?
Want to hedge your bets.
Yeah, right.
Why not? I mean, people are going to do one of two things. They're either going to remain renters, or they're going to settle for a smaller house. So the couple, the yuppie couple that was looking for $800,000, $900,000 house wherever, they might have to be like, damn, we still want to buy, but maybe we need to buy that $500,000 Craftsman in downtown Ontario, as opposed to the $900,000, stucco box McMansion in Rancho or something. You know what I mean?
No, I got what you're saying. Yeah, you're gonna adjust what you can afford. So, and the other thing too is the decisions that the sellers are making, right? Like, am I selling? So I literally was just talking to this agent. He's from Rancho, and he said to me, sellers are being hesitant, right? In which we all already understand that they're hesitant to sell because, one, finding another property, or two, they have such a low interest rate, how to get out of that interest rate. And so kind of our conversation was, a lot of times sellers will not think about renting the property, because when they think about renting the property, they immediately think they're the landlord. Problems. And they immediately think of the nightmares. I mean, and it's not helping that there's like a billboard for an attorney every 5 feet on the freeway in this country, right? So they immediately think, oh my God, something's going to happen. The reality is that's not really a fair representation of the industry. But what they're not thinking about is, hey, wait a minute, a company can do this for me. They can manage this, right? And so they don't really they don't entertain that thought, right? And so this is where we kind of get into affiliate versus referral, because when you have that client, who has doubt about, okay, I've gotten the value from you, but I don't really think we want to list right now. We're not unsure, we're not sure what we're going to do. We do need to move, or whatever the case is. Being able to say, hey, have you thought about making it a rental? And have you thought about using a management company? We can help you with that, right? And now that's where we come in with, referral versus affiliate. How does that help me build my business? How does that help me kind of navigate that? So let's talk about that, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I know, when we're talking to the agents, a lot of them just immediately like, yeah, I refer my clients to X company.
For free. We're getting agents saying they refer for free.
And so, we're having to kind of change the script on that, and get them to understand that we're not talking about a referral program. We're talking about an affiliate program, which is completely different. Where you're still staying connected. So, and there's a lot of advantages to an affiliate versus a referral. So those are the things I think we want to touch on, just to get agents to understand, like, no, we're not just saying refer us, for $100 or $500 or whatever.
Well, but I'm amazed that our salespeople are telling us they're talking to agents and they're saying, I refer to, and they'll like rattle off 2 or 3, like some of the property management companies that are in their area. And we'll say, okay, but what are you getting for the referral? Oh, nothing. And okay, that's great for the client. You've done something for the client. That's not great for your business. And if you want to stay in business,
it's doing nothing for your business.
Yeah, look, if you want to stay in business, if you want to stay in the real estate game, don't give away your clients, right? Don't give them away. Don't send them away with no money being earned.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're tired of real estate and you want to leave and you want to do something else, then do that. Get rid of your clients. That's the best way to do it.
So that's the first differentiator between referral and affiliate. So in a referral program, you're just giving away your client. You're like, hey, Mary Smith, this is X property management company. Go use them. See you later. So that's a referral. An affiliate program is where you're actually connected to the company that you're talking to the client about, and you're not giving it away. You're exposing them to other sides of your business.
Correct.
So there's a difference.
Correct. And yeah, exactly. And I think, and then too, on the flip side, because of the affiliate program, is we get asked is obviously the benefit for the company that's the affiliate, like us, we're the affiliate. Obviously, we're benefiting because we're growing our business via your business, the agent, right?
Right.
But ultimately, what we're paying for in that affiliate program is your relationship. Relationship with the client. And what is the most valuable to you as the broker or agent is the relationship. It's a relationship business, right? So
when you refer, you're not growing your business in any way.
No.
You're actually shrinking your business because you're giving a client away. So an affiliate program allows you to retain the client and continue to grow your business because you still have that client. Just because that client's not gonna sell right at the second, you still have the client. You're still in contact with them. You haven't given them away.
Correct. And I think that is, for me, I'm almost dumbfounded by how a lot of agents don't understand the difference. And I think when we talk to them, and I guess I'm guilty of it too, right? When you say a certain buzzword, in my mind, I've made up my mind of what you're talking about, right? Mm-hmm. And so when I say affiliate or property management, they're immediately in their mind is, I refer to this other company. I probably don't need you. Thank you very much, right? And getting them to separate the two and to really understand is not been as easy as one would think.
Well, I think it's like good market syndrome. When we've had so many good markets, and it's been a good market for a long time in California for many years, where we could sell a property, didn't have to do much. I mean, in the Inland Empire, we don't even stage properties really.
Yeah.
Unless it's I feel like unless it's over maybe $2 million. You're just throwing it on the MLS, and it's selling with multiple offers. So that's how it's always been for years and years and years. So I think that they haven't even had a chance to really digest the fact that the market's slow, it's going to stay slow, and it's not going to get better. And what are you going to do to compensate for your lack of income from sales? So I don't think agents have digested that yet.
No, and okay, so get this. So I had this great conversation yesterday with another agent who got it like that. I mean, the first thing he said to me was, he said, I thought the conversation was going to go different. And I said, how so? He said, well, you said modern wholesale, and me not thinking about this, he thought I was going to say I'm a wholesaler. I have property deals and, I bird dog and, but then he said, no, but he goes, I like what you're saying better. And so immediately he said to me, he goes, okay, so he goes, give me some quick numbers. I said, okay, right now, if you're looking at a house that rents between $3,200 and $3,400 a month, which there's plenty of homes in that price range.
That's average, really, right now.
We're seeing agents make, on an annual basis, they're making like $2,800 off of that house a year.
Per house.
So immediately he goes, if I had 10 of those, I bring in an extra 20. He goes, if I had 10 of those, I bring in
30 grand.
He goes, I bring in like 30 grand a year. He goes, and I'm not doing anything, right? And I go, yeah.
Totally passive.
So he's like, he goes, what? He goes, why aren't agents jumping on this faster? I go, well, the ones that get it do, but we have to re-educate the market because this is new. Affiliate programs are kind of really new too. Even though there's kind of a lot of them out there in different categories, but what we do in property management is definitely new. And so immediately he said, look, he goes, my benefit, he goes, where I'm good at is, he goes, I sell. He goes, I'm good at relationships. I'm good at selling. He goes, I did a little bit of property management before. He goes, and it's tedious, and I don't really want to do it. He goes, I love it. I love it. I love it. And then he goes, I felt really bad. He goes, man, I have a really good friend, a property manager, and I referred him a bunch of clients. And I can hear him. He's thinking on the phone, and he's like, how could I get them? He literally wants to how to get them back from his friend.
So he just gave away
yes,
business.
so he could put him in his portfolio because he's like literally on the phone with me calculating. He's like, shit, I'm like throwing away $1,000 or more a month in what I gave to my buddy. Then I'm like, he's not going to give that to me.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
so, and so I love when I get those one agents that just, it snaps. And they start going, and they're like, yeah, why refer when I can have this? And I'm immediately, the first thing I ask them is, do you want to come work for me? Like, you get it. Do you want to be my salesperson?
And that brings us to the second point. So, yeah, so we have a property management company, with hundreds and hundreds of properties. And all of those properties at some point in time were connected to an agent.
Yeah.
Because they had to buy the property for someone, and they didn't buy it from us. But when they go to sell, it's very rare that a property owner is like, oh, well, let me look up that agent that sold me this house 8 years ago or whatever the case.
No.
Basically, it's like a slam dunk. Typically, we give them the comps, and then if they like the numbers, they list. It's a no-brainer. So all of the properties that we have, some agent had just given them away, referred.
Correct.
If they were an affiliate and retained the relationship and we're still talking to those owners, then we would not be able to, well, we don't do that with our affiliate clients, so that's one differentiation.
Well, let's talk about that, right? So, so I'm a homeowner, and Agent Bob is my sales rep. He signed me up with this program. You're managing my property. Mm-hmm. It's been a year. The lease is up, and I've decided that I want to completely sell and leave the States. I want out. I want to get my equity, and I want to go right. Exactly. So I'm gonna take off. So I call you and I say, hey Mia, my tenant's coming up on lease, and I'm thinking about selling my home. What is our reaction to this?
So that account is going to be flagged as an affiliate account in our system. So we are going to refer that account straight back to the agent.
Correct.
As opposed to what we normally would do, that where it was not affiliate account, is we would provide comps and we would try to get that listing. But for our affiliate accounts, we see that there's an agent connected, and we call the agent up and let them know to contact that owner right away.
Yeah. So we have what we would consider a house account, which would be our account. And then we have what's considered an affiliate account. And that is one where we immediately send them an email and say, hey, mm-hmm. your client is asking for comps, please go ahead and provide them comps. And that's, I think, is great, because I think when the agent gets the first sight of that, they're like, oh shit, like, you really are giving it back to me, right?
But we need to make a point. So one of the differentiators between a referral and affiliate is that the agent who is our affiliate stays connected. Yeah. So really the owner should not, should automatically, because that agent is connected with
correct.
The property, has a reason to touch base with them every now and then.
They see what's going on in their portal. They see that Bob's house is coming up on lease renewal.
Yes.
They reach out to Bob and say, hey, Bob,
proactively,
I see what's going on. I see how it's going with the rental. Are you interested in getting comps for this? And they have the ability to do that because all of that's in their portal. They have all that information in there, and they're able to see that. And so the transparency is what works here, right? It's the transparency.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you're proactive and you're staying in front of that. And so,
and the property owner feels like he has a team, because he has us that's managing the property. He still has the agent who sold him the property touching base with him. So he has all of basically, we're providing a team for the owner, and that, I feel like, gives the owner a lot of assurance.
Well, they have
confidence.
Because the owner has that relationship with the agent,
mm-hmm.
and he continues that relationship, and he can call on that agent, and we support that agent. And so although the agent doesn't have to do the property management of it, the owner may
mm-hmm.
call him and say, hey, can you help me out on something? We support that agent with our broker desk, and we make sure that agent's taken care of and that client's taken care of for that reason, right? So for us, it's, look at people say, okay, I actually had somebody ask me, what's in it for you? I thought it was pretty obvious. What's in it for me is you're giving me a property to manage, right? But we're volume-based property mm-hmm. management, right? We're volume-based. We're talking, hundreds, thousands of doors. stores, multiple territories, multiple states, right? This is where we make our money, right? It's volume based. What's in it for the agent broker, obviously, is that relationship with the revenue that's attached to that relationship.
Exactly. And it's actually not just for that one particular property that they referred, because plenty of property owners do want to build their portfolio, especially in this time. The values are lower. They're not increasing. So property owners who have cash, that's other opportunities for the agent, where if they weren't affiliates, that would be our opportunity.
Correct.
Because who are they talking to all the time? Us.
So let me ask you this question. So we started our business, I'm not going to say how many years back because the lady's sitting here, but we started a business a long time ago. And once upon a time we had, no properties to manage.
Many moons.
And, and I know that we started our management because we were focusing on investors, and investors at the time were buying, and they would say, I need you to manage it. And we didn't want to lose the sale, so we would manage it. Had we had this affiliate, not us, but had we had access to an affiliate program, do you think we would have started our own management company, or do you think we would have just used an affiliate program to build a portfolio that way? I mean,
we're kind of crazy, so we probably would have still
you
built
think so?
a management company.
I mean, I tend to think we may have built a portfolio with an affiliate. This is the only reason I say that is, I know that when you tend to think backwards, you always think about all the good stuff that happened, and I think about all the crazy stuff that happened building the management company, right? Going out, going out at 3 in the morning.
We really are operators.
I know, but I still think about,
really.
I'm the one that went at 3 o'clock in the morning to handle flood myself personally because we didn't have a vendor in that area. Or, I remember the early days of telling an owner, I'll get my crew on it and then leave, go get my work truck, change my clothes, and go back.
Aren't you glad we started a management company?
Yeah, I mean,
because
I didn't like management at first. It is a very tedious job. I mean, it's tedious,
but it's floated us through all the ups and downs.
No, it
has. Which brings us to another differentiator. When you refer, when you just throw your client to somebody else and you refer, you're not building anything. You're giving your client away, and now you're left to start over from scratch with another client, which is what real estate agents do. Every single transaction, you're starting from scratch. Every month you're starting from scratch. But through the affiliate program, you're actually building an ancillary book of business.
Yeah.
Which is so valuable. It's likened to like an insurance broker or anyone who can build a book of business, meaning these are clients that I'm dealing with on a monthly basis, that I connect to, that I'm in touch with. And it's not just a one-time wham bam, thank you ma'am transaction. Like I am, we have a relationship.
Yeah. Well, and I would say too is when you have a client, so let's just say you have 1 or 2 listings. Okay. One, we all know listings can fall apart. You can have like, I'm going to make all this money. I have somebody in escrow. We know deals fall apart. Deals fall apart. Clients walk away. Right. And so when you're pinning all of your income off of these deals, it's stressful. It's stressful. Yeah. And the likelihood of you losing 1 or 2 clients at a time is always it's a reality, right? Now, let's look on the flip side. Let's say you build your affiliate program, you build your portfolio, and let's say you're one of those superstar agents and you have 60, 70 clients in this, right? You're making
in the affiliate program,
right? You're making good money. You're making $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a month every single month. What is the likelihood that all 60 clients are going to wake up on a Tuesday morning and fire you? It's not. That's where you hedge your bets. Yeah. Well, yeah, but I'm saying is the likelihood that you're going to lose 60 customers, right? You can have a bad day, lose 1 or 2, right? But to have 60 customers be lost all at one time. And so what happens is, I know for me is when I start thinking about our revenue and our income, the money that comes in from transactions, bigger jobs, whatever the case is, those are great. Those are stressful. But I can know that I have that bedrock of just consistent flow. Yeah. Man, it changes your whole outlook on how you perceive business and what you want to do with your business.
Well, you can actually rely on it. You can't rely on a listing closing. That's pie in the sky all the way up until the very moment that it closes. I mean, agents are on edge until the moment anything closes. So every agent has experienced that. But yeah, when you build a book of business, a property management portfolio with, 10, 20, 30, 50 properties, like you said, that's something you can actually rely on. It's passive residual income that comes in every single month.
Correct.
And yeah, you might lose one or two here and there. That's normal attrition. But at the end of the day, it's actual income that you can rely on. So that's a huge difference. And who doesn't want that? No, nobody doesn't want that.
It's funny. And so I don't know how many agents listen to Grant Cardone. 10Xer. I like Grant. He's got a lot of, he's got a lot of hype. He's got a lot of stuff. And, he said the other day it actually takes more energy to suck. It takes more energy to not want to build your business correctly, he said, than it does to do it the right way, right? He said, and he's talking about having tools, and he was specifically talking about being that resource. He says it takes more energy to push people away and say, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be involved in that. I don't want to do your affiliate program. I don't want to do these things, than it does to accept them, offer them, and build your business. He's like, you're going to talk to people no matter what. You're going to make sales calls if you're in sales. You're going to make the effort, right? He goes, but at the end of the day, if you don't have any sales, your life is miserable. You're working harder now to pay your bills. Yeah. He's like, it takes more energy to be that way than to say, hey, let me 10X it. Let me have bigger goals. Let me get as many tools as possible. Let me capture as much of that sale as possible and build that business. And so when you kind of think about it, you're right? Like and we get a lot of agents who are saying, hey, I can't talk to you right now. I'm busy doing callbacks. And I know that blows my mind. I'm like, great, you're calling people back. That's awesome. We want agents like you. You're calling people. But take 2 minutes and listen to what I have to say. So when you call them back, you have more things to sell them.
Resources. That's like when we used to have a lot of salespeople, and they would get annoyed at the phone. Yeah. And I would say, wait, the phone's ringing. That's a problem for you because why? It's interrupting. You're calling your leads. Well,
they're calling you. Yeah, they're calling you back. Exactly. Yeah, and I think
that's a mindset.
I mean, and think of this: if you're an agent and you sell, what if 7-Eleven only sold Slurpees? How much business would they have? Right?
Yeah, it'd be very niche.
Yeah, it'd be very niche, right? So it's like I always try to think like I want things that complement, but I want enough to where I can capture, and I'm not going to get this.
You want multiple streams of revenue.
Yeah, and you're not always going to get the $1 million sale right off the bat, but man, all that small stuff definitely adds up. So yeah, stop giving away the customer, right? Stop giving away the customer.
So unless you don't want multiple streams of revenue,
look, and if you don't
other
want
ways to make money and to retain your clients,
then don't listen to the podcast. Don't call us.
Have an affiliate program. Don't join the affiliate program.
Yeah. And if exactly. Don't come to one of our cocktail mixers and get to know us. Don't come out to the the real estate show.
If you don't want free cocktails, then just don't
come.
I mean, it's honestly a no-brainer.
Yeah. So I think it is, and I mean, I every time we move forward, we have a new podcast. People talk to us and say they listen. I think we're making headway, but it's changing that mindset, right?
And
educating. So all right, cool. Well, Mia, it was awesome having you on again.
Thank you.
Thank you for wearing yet another cool hat.
No problem.
And are you looking at yourself in your camera over there? She's filming her podcast for her other podcast.
Podcast within a podcast.
Exactly. So,
who wouldn't want another podcast if you can have one?
I know. So, anyways, it was great having you guys to listen, and send us messages, ask us questions, DM us wherever you're listening to this on. We want to hear from you. We want to answer some questions. We want to hear what people have to say because we know what we know. We don't necessarily know what you're thinking, and so getting that feedback is definitely critical, and it's great because it just kind of furthers the conversation.
Yes.
All right, cool. So we're good. Until next week. Bye. See you guys later. All right, bye. Hey guys, this is Damien. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed listening to us ramble about real estate and property management. Don't forget to check out all our social media and visit our website for wholesale property management. You can find the link in the bio. If you have topics, questions, or crazy situations you want us to talk about, send us a message. See you on the next episode of ModTalk.